Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. I just can't stay away. So much going on in the world. So much help is needed. And so those things on my mind constantly bring thoughts, things that are wrapped up in solutions that perhaps need to be shared with us. I was thinking about what America's major problems are. And three things popped in mind. One was power, hunger, capitalism, and ignorant people. Now, when I say these kinds of things about this nation, what am I trying to do? Am I trying to tear you down? Am I trying to make you angry? Am I trying to put you at odds with one another? No, I'm trying to put evil, expose it with kindness and love and goodness. When I speak of these things, when I think about power, I think about the power of the world, and then I think about the true power. You see, when I see power, I see the real power is having the ability to cause things to happen. And when I see what's happening in the world, then I see that power that wants to control. And it wants to control badly. So badly, my friend. They'll do anything. Anything. This is what we call exposing, identifying those and what they will do for power. They'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll steal, they'll cause hatred, racism, and bigotry. They will terrorize, kill, and start a war. And to reward them for being so evil, they become leaders. They become spokesmen. Get in a group and see who runs the show. The biggest, loudest mouth out there might not know anything, but if he's loud mouthed, the governor be quiet. Just let the loud mouth go. Next thing, the loud mouth is running things. We got that same kind of experience here, but this is what is called power in the world's sight. You see, this is what the mega groups are doing. Donald Trump is doing everything that I just mentioned. He's practicing that. He's getting on television, telling this nation and all of its people that anybody that he doesn't like or doesn't love him is an enemy to him, not to this country. He's trying to say this country, but no, he don't give a stank about this country. He's talking about him. Then he's singling out these guys and trying to send some people out here who are not that level-headed to go and cause some damage to these people's lives. This is a man who wants to be president of the United States. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, people in Kentucky, people all over this country want him to be president. Not the masses, I don't think, but enough want him to be president. They don't care about his lying. We want a liar. We want a cheater. This is who they want for president. Isn't that something? What is it for? Power. So who want him to be president? People who want power. And when they talk about mega, what are they talking about? They're talking about going back to the beginning where only one person is recognized, one group of people are recognized, and that's men with money, white men with money. And everybody, everything else is beneath them. That's when they say America was great. A black man had nothing to say. You put that whip on him and tie a horse to the leg and split his butt. That's what white folk would do to black men. To women, black or white, you better shut up a white man or knock your eyeballs out. Because why? Because he's boss. And you are subservient to him, because if you get anything out of this dead blasted country, you got to get it from the master white man, whether you're black or whether you're a woman. Power. And then they fixed it up, ladies and gentlemen, with capitalism. Capitalism, now, many of you got some idea about what capitalism is about. But for the average Joe Blow, when you talk about capitalism, you're talking about money. You're talking about a job. You're talking about markets and things, how you can get this money, what is being done, and well, banks and how you get taken advantage of. Capitalism. Who gets the job? Who owns everything? Where? They say Standard Oil, Conoco, Standard. Well, a whole bunch of people got names on stuff. But you ask them, who created it? Their name is on it, but who created it? Oh, they say, well, we created it. Oh, they created the scheme. They created the scam to rip the people off. They took what was free, given to anybody and everybody that needed, and put their names on it, and then put it in capitalism, put scams on it, so you, the people, can't get any of it unless they have that money issued out to you. And then they know who gets the money, and how much they get, and how much money they got, and who don't get the money, and what it takes to get the money. And we, a certain group of people, always come up at the bottom. Drives me all up the wall thinking about this. They do it so to the degree you got people sleeping in cubby holes, on the bridges, in the wintertime, while these guys don't even have a job, can't find a job. Little low wages won't allow them to pay rent. Just enough money perhaps to drink, smoke some weed, and maybe pretend like that tomorrow's going to bring about a change. My friends, why you got multi-billionaires walking around here? Making sure that we, the people, got nothing, and that we return back to the time of slavery. That is an effort that is being made right now, ladies and gentlemen. That is an effort that's being made right now. And every time let me just say something. America is dead if the Republicans allow this stuff to keep on going. You got a man every time he opens his mouth. You ever been around in a little small crowd and somebody passed gas? I mean, and it really smells. Consider being in a porta potty, something like that, and you just happen to be in there for one reason or another. Something else is going on in there. It's just like that, and you can't get out. When Trump speaks, I'm telling you how I feel, what it seems to me. And it feels that anybody that got some love in their heart, every time he speaks, it should be like being shut up in a porta potty with some stank going on. That's how many people feel. I know one, that's me. Every time he comes out there, why do I feel that way? Because you can bet your last breath he's lying. You can bet your last breath he ain't coming nowhere close to the truth. And everybody know it, and half of the people can't stand him doing that stuff, and the rest of them love it. And the thing that really blows my mind is black people love him too. Well, anyway, that's what it's all about. You got the power of all these people who would do anything to have that power. Then you got the capitalism using it to scam the people. And through their scam, who do they scam? They scam the people who are ignorant. These people. Who are the ignorant people? Anybody that's not rich is ignorant. They can be white. They got a little better deal than anybody else. But the ignorant populace are anybody that's not a white man. And you say, well, we passed some laws now. Women got the right to do this. Women, if the women got some rights, I guarantee you one thing. If the women had some power, I guarantee you one thing. You men wouldn't be telling them what to do with their body. So women have no power. You just proved to them that they have no power. Men saying women, they proved it to you, didn't they? And they're going to get away with it, right? Well, it's up to you. Well, what do? They make things so difficult. Say, for instance, if you say, well, I'm going to stand up for my woman's right to do this, then they're going to put everybody in jail. This is the punishment they're going to do. See, this is what evil does to control and manipulate. Jails and prisons. God doesn't do that. No. God teaches love. He teaches you the right way. If you don't want people having abortions, you make sure that to have a baby is the most fantastic thing a person can do. That's how you prevent abortion. If you don't want people out there shooting guns and stuff like that, you make sure that everybody got a job. Everybody can participate in life. And by participating in life, they're not so angry. Why? Because they are the reservoir that causes and maintains life. No, so you're not trying to get rid of guns. Demons can't do that. You start talking about heavenly stuff, demons can't do that. I've been speaking to America for 40 some odd years about heaven on earth. I tell you what, in 40 some years, and even on YouTube, I probably got less than 400 subscribers out of 40 some years. I have no posts that anybody just caters to and say and talk about and spread. No, it's just, this is a subject that nobody wants to talk about. Oh, they'll talk about God now. They'll talk about scripture. They'll talk about Bible. And they talk in such a way that everything that goes on in the society ever since those 40 years I started and before is still going on. It doesn't get better. It has gotten worse. You got people at the last presidential election, you got people out there bragging about God, telling them to come over here and make sure that this liar, that this racist, that this bigot, that this hater become our next president. Church people, elders, and you wonder what's wrong with America. Well, I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, if I had to, in a situation, choose between a Republican and a Democrat, I would definitely choose a Democrat. Both of them are evil, but the Democrat is not half as evil as Republicans are appearing to be nowadays. But since I don't have to choose between a Republican and a Democrat, I can choose the truth, and that's God. That's God. And anybody that's loving God is loving everybody. Everybody, even these crooks. But he's standing up for truth and not afraid of any of them. Why? Because you know the answer to life. You're not afraid of to see threats, Donald Trump, and people like they want to go get the guns and we're going to go kill you just because we want to and we're going to get away with it. Everybody knows that. Let me just say this. I don't want to forget it. Everybody knows. Let me say the slave mentality. Yeah, let me tell you about this ignorant populace. And I got the slave mentality. The slave mentality is accepting that there is a superior individual. This is who we're talking about, this power that is above the dictates of your life. It's similar as being done back in the days of slavery. For those of you who might have a picture of that. People are afraid to dream. They think that though they disagree with the edicts of the master, it is better to obey. Stay out of trouble. Stay alive. Now, this conduct comes from people who know nothing about God but words. So I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. America has to face herself. We know that a great portion of this society is ready to destroy this country. Now, they don't think that they are destroying this country. They're too dumb to have that kind of foresight. They think they are taking this world for themselves. You know, like the gangbanger that goes down the street and commands that block, or the mafia dude who's making somebody pay for security, or somebody who is scamming folks in banks and stuff. You know, this is the same old game. Same old game. This capitalistic system calling democracy doesn't mean a thing. It denies you. What do I mean by that? Until you can see everybody enjoying this life, that means that they are enjoying it. And there are certain things that have been made available to each of the people based upon what all of them possess, so that if they engage themselves in the process, each of them can have a field day. And that includes, I've said it before, I think I said it before I close, a job, number one. A job. Let me ask you, everybody listen to my voice. If you had a job that you love doing, but not only love doing it, but because you engaged in that job, you never have to worry about food, clothing, and shelter. You always on top of that. When it comes down to education and healthcare and transportation and traveling the world, you have nothing to worry about. If you could do that because you had that job, would you be satisfied? I think you would. I do know, however, there's not a government on the face of the earth that allows that to happen unless you're on the top with one of those, what you call multi-million dollars, or something like that. I'm asking you, would you want that? And out of that, having your needs met, you were living in peace. Nobody trying to start a war. Had nothing to worry about like that. Prosperous. You enjoying it. You're enjoying your gift, your duty, your career. giving you your greatest joy. My friends, prosperous and free. Nobody's complaining. Nobody's trying to take you. Nobody's trying to undermine you. Why? Because they got their own. You're right on top of it, baby. You are giving it. The world needs it. And they are appreciative, and you are a hero. Now, ain't that something? Now, not only that, your needs, your wants, and your desires met. Now, what does that do? That means you are joyous living now. You weren't, but now just listening to what I'm telling you about makes you see and feel that joy. You're happy. And now you're not sitting back trying to find some weed to dream out, or sitting somewhere wondering, depressed, stressed. No, because now you got direction. You know what's up. It's all good. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about living your dream. And just think about it. You are the master of your craft. You have available to you the resources that are available to help you, assist you, and aid you to be the best that you can be in education and healthcare and all this other stuff. Baby, you're living. You never lived like this before. Even in your dreams, you couldn't live like this. This is what is sitting out here waiting for you. When you put these liars out, when you put these demons out, when you put these thieves out, when you put these haters and racists and bigots out. And until you put them out, baby, they ain't going nowhere. God ain't going to force them to go. The only way God can force them to go, if God is living in you, and you bring the light out in the darkness. Then, but until then, America have major problems. I identify them as power and capitalism and the ignorant populace. But there's still hope. But the hope is not rest on somebody sitting back talking about they're going to be a return of someone coming out of the cloud down here magically to fix this stuff that you have had a lifetime to fix and couldn't. What's that thing called when you're going to get sucked? Good people going to get sucked up out of there and leave the rest of us down here. A lot of you think, well, I can't think of the word right now. I done got old sometimes, it eludes me. But I can tell you this. If you're thinking about some good people who have been sucked up off this earth, those would be the good people who stood for God by standing up for everybody on earth and were killed for doing it. That's what you call sucked up. What they call it? Well, you know what I'm talking about. It really gets you when you're trying to think of a word and can't think of it. So I know what Donald Trump is going through, or anybody, when that word won't come to you. Anyway, you know. So I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, the power of our own lives, whether it's heavenly or hell, is right here. Now, I realize when I say to you that when you wake up, when you see the light, it brings so much joy to you. You turn around, you kind of feel sad that others can't see it. And there's no way you're going to submit yourself back to that ignorance just because somebody say, you got to be crazy. Of course you're crazy. You're not walking in that darkness. What are you doing now? You're headed toward a new place. A place that you can never be separated from by anything other than yourself. So ladies and gentlemen, having said that, I hope I've said something that's worthwhile. And I'm sure I'll be back. But until then, have a good one.